Time now to round up one of the big topics from the week, and it's how the district attorney decided to handle a rogue judge that's become a political hot potato. Family court judge Denise Pratt became a target of a grand jury investigation after she dismissed hundreds of cases from her court. Under an agreement with the DA's office, Pratt is no longer on the bench and has agreed to never run again for judge. In return, the criminal probe against her ends. Was the decision political favoritism or simply a way to ensure Pratt won't return to the bench? Well, that's our topic this half hour. We want to hear from you on our Fox 26 Facebook page, or you can send me a tweet at Sally Mack, Fox 26. In our newsroom, we have our legal analyst, Chris Tritico, our news analyst, Mustafa Tamiz, and public policy analyst, Jackie Bally. All right, Chris, first of all, you testified against this judge, right?
I did. I was an expert witness in one of the many motions to recuse her as a judge after she had refused to sign orders for a very long time. And when the first criminal investigation of her for backdating orders was under investigation, I was retained as an expert witness in one of those motions and I testified against her in that motion regarding the previous investigation, not the one that we're talking about here today. Let me just explain just a minute about what's going on here. Judge Pratt was first investigated, as I said, for backdating orders, and that investigation resulted in a no bill by a Harris County grand jury. Then on New Year's Eve last year, she dismissed over 600 cases without notice to the parties, causing families all over Harris County to be affected. Fathers not being able to see their children, mothers losing child support, cases that were set for trial without notice to the lawyers, which you're required to do by the law, which started the second investigation, Jackie. Now, we found just this week that Devin Anderson, the Harris County District Attorney, cut a deal with her to end the investigation if she resigned as judge. Some of the criticism has been because they both used the same political consultant for their campaigns, and Kim Ogg is saying this is a political favoritism.
Yeah, well, Kim Ogg is Devin Anderson's opponent, so of course she's making it political. Look, there was a problem on the bench. Devin Anderson took care of it, and Kim Ogg is now turning it into a political situation for her own advantage. There was an apolitical panel from the Public Integrity Unit that said it would be very difficult to actually prosecute the judge under what she was being accused of during this round. So Devin Anderson said, you know, we have a problem. She even said that the actions of Judge Pratt were reprehensible, but given what the Public Integrity Unit, remember, apolitical, what they said, this was the quickest, cleanest way to solve the matter, and I think she did a good job.
The district attorney is the sole authority in any county that makes charging decisions. It's Devin Anderson's decision to file a charge. It's Devin Anderson's decision not to. Why is that political?
Well, first, it's unfortunate that we elect judges on a partisan basis. I don't think that's a good idea. But the fact that we do, the problem on the bench was that you had a sitting incumbent Republican judge who was going to get indicted, and then that indictment and that litigation against that judge would run right through the election. So the problem on the bench had to be solved, and it looks like, unfortunately, a deal was cut to take this judge out of circulation prior to the summer so that the Republican establishment had time to kind of reframe the upcoming election. That loses the public trust. The fact that this judge does all these horrific things and put these families in so much jeopardy on top of it to make a political decision. And we would not have known about this unless it was for Kim Ogg, you know, who served over a decade in the DA's office and is a seasoned prosecutor.
All right, let me go to Sally. She's monitoring our social media.
Yeah, we have comments coming in right now on our Fox 26 Facebook page from viewers watching us. Want to mention Wendy's first. She says, I feel she should be charged to the fullest the law will allow. That's the first comment there. Scroll up a little bit and we see a comment from Ariana. She says, if this was one of us, we would have been prosecuted. Why is a judge or police officer above the law?
You know, that second one is a great question. Is this a deal because of who she is as an elected official, as opposed to the rest of us who wouldn't get necessarily that same benefit, Jack?
Well, again, we would have to see all the information that this apolitical panel that the Public Integrity Unit put in charge of looking at the document to see what the likelihood of her being prosecuted would be. So until we see all of that information, we really don't know.
Well, and we won't get to see that.
And we won't get to see it. But again, this is an apolitical panel, and they said the likelihood. First of all, it would take many years. It would cost us a lot of dollars from our taxpayers, and the likelihood of actually having the evidence to prosecute her were not there.
And we would have to prosecute her during an election when both Devin Anderson and the Republican bench are on the ballot.
It would not be this year. No, it would not be this year. It would take years to come to
exactly.
prosecute.
And
you wouldn't have the trial this year, probably.
But the fact that the indictment lies over the head of an incumbent Republican judge while other Republican judges are on the battle, including the DA.
But let me ask you about the Public Integrity Unit. Jackie's making a point that they're not elected. They're hired assistant district attorneys who reviewed this and said to Devin Anderson, purportedly said to Devin Anderson, there's not enough evidence here.
And it's apolitical.
Well, the key basically is that do you want a prosecutor that would go after incidents like this of public corruption, or do you want a prosecutor who's going to take a pass every time it's politically expedient?
Real quick.
It's an apolitical panel that said there's not enough evidence. Devin Anderson saved us from money, saved taxpayers money, and I think she did a great job in making this call.
Justice at the cost of
we're going to leave
money
it right
is
there.
Not a good subject.
I can't get him to stop, so I'm just interrupting. We're going to leave it right there. Sally, we'll be back in a little bit.
I'm glad Mustafa at least brought Jackie flowers today. At least that was
That's right.
the nicest thing he could do. All right, thanks, guys.